Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. You thought I was going to say Sue and I didn't. I said two. Hello and welcome to That's Football. It's England versus Albania. It's probably more than that. It's going to be a Friday night chat. That's what it's going to be. I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you everyone who has been getting involved. There is a school of thought that as long as Man United are in the Champions League and within reach of the Premier League top four, then Joel Glazer, who takes ultimate decision, will not act. That is not breaking news. That is not breaking news because that's what United did with Moyes and Marino and Van Gaal as well. So there we go. So how are you all doing this Friday night? I'd forgotten. But let's all have a bit of a nice Friday night. Join in the chat. Get involved. Feeling quite buzzing tonight. And I'll explain why in a moment. But I am feeling quite buzzing tonight. Because not because of England. Shut up, England. Bloody back 5 and 2 holding midfielders against Albania. And they're giving him a 2-year contract. Don't bring my buzz down. I'm like a bumblebee that's been hit by an arrow. Then I ain't buzzing anymore. I'm on the floor. Lifeless, going because I'm not happy about it. I'm not. I didn't. We did so many watch-alongs during the summer for England in the Euros, and at least I'm consistent. Again, you don't have to agree with me. I don't care if people disagree with me. But if we're in a pub having a pint, and I wish we were, then I would be sit here saying no. I'll get the next round in, but I'm not going to listen to what you're talking about. I'm not a fan of Southgate. I've never been a fan of Southgate. And I hope he can win us a World Cup, and I hope he can. But I'm not a fan of Southgate. I think he's a very, very poor manager, and I think that he succeeds and gets by because he is a manager that has some of the best England players that we've had in probably 20 years. So I'm not a fan of Southgate, and I'm not surprised that the FA have given him a 2-year contract. I think they've given him a 2-year contract because he's a safe pair of hands. He wears a waistcoat and he's very, very good politically when he speaks about racism, when he speaks about diversity, when he speaks about any political issues in football. He conducts himself very well. But ultimately, we don't want a politician in charge of Manchester United. In England, we want a winner. And for me, he bottled the Euros. We were the home nation and we scraped our way to the final, and then we bottled it in the final. So I'm not a fan of Southgate, and 2 more bloody years of it is just very disappointing, as I'm sure many would agree. But it is what it is, isn't it? And that's where we are with it. Why is that not working now? Let me have a look. I just want to get something in. But yes, what I was going to say is this. Let me just get this going. There it is. Link. Yes, the reason I'm buzzing is every year on the Saturday of the international break of November, I do my charity stream, and I'm pleased to announce that charity stream is going to be taking place on this channel. It will be kicking off at around midday tomorrow, and it will be going through as long as it takes, really. We've set quite, I don't know whether it's ambitious. Last year we raised 16,000. I'd like to get to 20,000. I might end up streaming until the very early hours, who knows. But lots and lots of content planned for you, and hopefully we can raise a lot of money. It's for the Marie Curie Centre, which is for people who have terminal illness, to assist them in their final days, weeks and months, and also the family around them, to provide them with counselling and bereavement support. So tomorrow it's I think it's year 3 or 4 of doing it. So very proud to be doing it, and as a community very proud to be doing it. So we'll be doing it tomorrow, and the link is in the video description if you want to donate. We've actually raised £705 already, and we've not even started yet. Sally Mitchell's left a message in there. Good luck on the charity stream, Mark, for a fantastic cause. Hope you raise lots of money. Respect you doing this. Hopefully we beat this horrific disease once and for all. Sally donated £30. We've had a £500 donation from Craig. I put 100 in to start off with. I will be putting more in. Dean Turner, Awais Mahmood, thanks for raising the cause. A few anonymous ones, but if you want to get in there, we could hit 1,000 before we get going. So I've dropped the link in the chat if you want to donate and leave us a message to read out, especially if you've been impacted by terminal illness, friends or family, or cancer or anything like that. So but that's what we're doing tomorrow from roughly around probably 11:30 midday. We'll start. I'm going to be playing FIFA. I'm going to be doing Q&As. We're going to have a bit of fun. We might even do a movie watch along or something like that. There's loads we can get involved in. So that's what we're doing, and it's going to be on this channel. So make sure you subscribe so you get your notifications so you don't forget. Bottom right hand corner to do that. And yeah, get involved tomorrow with the charity stream, which I'm buzzing for, and I really trust this community that we can hit the target we're going for again, and be sat there tomorrow night very proud as a community. So, but we can only do it together. Need people to be watching the stream tomorrow, sharing the link, you know, getting people involved. Very important. Anyway, the game has kicked off. So no, it hasn't. It hasn't. It had, and then they've gone back again. So I'm going to have to pause this for a moment. Just while they sync up. There we go. We're synced in now. So the England lineup, if you want to know what it is, Pickford's in goal, Stones and Walker. Reece James is playing, Chilwell, Walker, and Stones. It's a back five with Phillips and Henderson, and then Sterling, Kane, and Foden as the front three. So it's a 5-3-2 or whatever you want to call it. Proud day to be serving. We will remember them, says Rudolph the Red. Lest we forget. Mark, can you wish my friend Zara happy birthday, says Jeannie. Thank you very much. Everyone who's watching, by the way. And it's on ITV in the UK. Oh yeah, Maguire's playing. I forgot about that. You know what? I've got to say, though, I've never really had this in my life. It's so frustrating that you don't get any escapism with your national team from your club team. At least if you're a Liverpool fan watching and you're English, if you do follow England, you're like, yeah, they're shit, but we've got Klopp. Or if you're a Man City fan or a Chelsea fan, yeah, they're shit, but we've got Tuchel and we've got Pep. As a Man United fan, it's like you don't even get any escapism watching England. It's like watching the same thing. A manager who shouldn't be in post, who's got no idea how to get the best out of a very, very attacking squad and actually plays defensive, counter-attacking football. Man United or England are very similar. England are blessed with loads of attacking players and not loads of defenders. And Man United are the same. And yet they've got defensive coaches. So there we go. We'll keep an eye on the other scores. I mean, there is an element of interest in this game because if Albania managed to get a result, it would be quite funny in a sense. Apart from the fact I'm English, but I expect England to win this. But of course, but there is a little bit of a potential hiccup for England. Got United on the brain at the moment. Let's just have a quick look at best way to do it is through the BBC. Get your questions in anyway, because it could be a bloody boring game as per usual. With England here tonight. So we're Group I. England have got 20 points. Poland have got 17. Albania have got 15. So Poland are playing Andorra. You'd expect them to win. I don't know whether these are these live? Okay, yeah, live. I want the live score. So yeah, so England at the moment are drawing. So no, England have got 20 points and Poland have got 17 points. If England were to somehow lose and Poland were to win, that would put them level. But England's last game is Sterling wants a free kick there. It's not given. Of course, England's last game is San Marino. And offside there on Albania. Pickford's just took out their keeper. I was a bit naughty by Pickford, actually. Oh my God, Raheem Sterling, that's an embarrassment, mate. Oh my God. That is embarrassing from Sterling. But this from Pickford was a little bit naughty. Oh, bloody hell. He absolutely slammed into him. I don't think he's going to get into trouble for it, but he absolutely poleaxed him. Can you wish my pet penguin Pingo a happy birthday, says Joel. And hi Mark, have you heard anything from your sources that could excite United fans but you don't want to say just in case it's not true, i.e. Zidane? Well, this is the place for me to do it, fame, and I will tell you. So look, I wouldn't say this on the United stand because people would start getting really excited, and I don't want that to happen. But because we've not, this is a general football channel. Don't take it with a pinch of salt because it is. I have been told it, but the first thing I'm going to qualify is by say fam. I did say fam. The first thing I'm going to say, nothing's happened to Pickford actually. He's played it on, still 0-0. First thing I would say is that, look, in all likelihood, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to stay in post. As ridiculous as that sounds, it probably is going to happen. But United's board is incompetent, so what do you expect? So he's probably going to stay in post. The 9-day break that Solskjaer is having, I don't know if any of you support Liverpool or Chelsea or whoever, but if you just lost to Man City in a derby, or whoever is your derby game, and it's international break, would you expect your manager to take a 9-day break? It is odd, but I don't think it necessarily means anything. Having said that, why is everyone saying FFS, Mark? I don't understand what it means. Rodgers' defensive record awful. No one in top 14 has conceded more this season, and he's bottling Liverpool side. Duncan. Right, Duncan doesn't like him. I don't know, what does this FFS mean? Yeah, but why are people saying it? Why aren't Albania playing in their away kit? And Mark, you probably reacted, but thoughts on Fanta Pants comments that Pep said, let's not train, no clue how United was set up. Ollie and United are embarrassing, says Andrew C. Yeah, I've spoken about it a few times. I mean, the fact that De Bruyne has come out and said that they normally, their last training session before a game, they normally work on how the opposition play, but they didn't bother with United because United don't have any tactics, basically. What do you think of Lampard rejecting Norwich, guessing he felt it wasn't a situation he could help as the inevitable relegation will always happen? Yeah, Owen, I spoke about that this afternoon when I was playing FIFA on Twitch. Yeah, I think I agree with I do agree with Lampard not going to Chelsea, really, because not going to Norwich, because I think it would have been a mistake, to be honest with you. So yeah, I don't I actually do like Lampard. I know I don't care, again, not bothered. I'm in the minority. I do like Lampard. I think he's a decent coach, and I think he would be a good appointment, but I think whoever goes to Norwich, you're going to get relegated. So, it's that inevitability, isn't it? But will he get a better manager? Will he get a better job than Norwich? I suppose that's the question, isn't it? Will he get a better job than Norwich? Don't know. Free kick to England here. Viva Ronaldo. And it's a goal for Harry Maguire. Oh, look at him with his ears behind his head. What's that? What's that Harry Maguire celebration about? Puts his fingers in his ears. I don't get that from Harry. I don't get that at all. It's a good goal though. 1-0 to England. Can you shout out my friend Craig? Says Drizk. And hi Mark, who do you think will take over Norwich with their new manager? Could they survive relegation? I don't think so, Christian Lee. And Mark, I have an idea that Makers fans be heard. I want to email it to you, but please, all I ask for, you hear the idea. Where can I send it? Says Polart. Through the website, there's a submission thing, theunitedstand.com. That's 100% aimed at you, Marky. Don't have it, says J Max. I doubt it. And you know, at the end of the day, I don't get that anyway, because the criticism of Harry Maguire is that you've been crap for United. Nothing's going to change that. Foden 2, all over the bar. Mark, can you continue what you were saying about Ollie in the situation? Yeah, I will do, David, but it is 1-0 here. I just need to change the score. You don't... You don't... when you get criticised by your fans of your club, they're probably criticising you because you've not been very good. So when you score a goal, if you're shushing your own fans, you're missing the point. Like, we want you to play well. That's what we want you to do. Like, we want you to score goals and play well. So when people are criticising you, it's because you're not playing well. When you're playing well, we want to praise you and celebrate you. So who are you shushing? That's my point. I don't know who he's shushing there, because we want you to play well. Man United have just tweeted about it. But maybe he's focused. Running down her wing, hear United sing, Viva Ronaldo. Running down the wing. Another free kick for England here. And nearly 2. Okay, can never do super chats on United Stand, just says error, so I gave my season ticket off soon as the Glazers bought Manchester United. They are taking us down brick by brick. Sad times, says Man U FC 1. And great chance for Albania. Great save by Pickford. It's a good game, this, you know. Actually, I've got to be honest, it's a decent game. been a decent game so far. Harry Maguire making it 1-0 to England, but a very good chance for Albania there. I don't know what happens at the back with England here. Let's have a look. Well, it's a mistake by Kyle Walker, and they should score. 1-on-1. Mistake by Kyle Walker. Mark, thoughts on Lampard maybe going to Rangers, says Totally Trescothic. I mean, that would be a good move for Lampard because, you know, Gerrard's been there. He's ended up with the Villa job. You go up there as Rangers manager, you maybe come back down with a similar sort of job. So it would be a good move for him. But look, what I was saying about Manchester United is that the general feeling is Sterling's nearly in again. The general feeling is that there's sort of a resignation amongst the media and the fans that Solskjaer will stay in charge miraculously. I don't know how it happens. You know, you take 4 points from 18, you get humiliated by Leicester, Liverpool, and Man City, tactically schooled, and you're still in charge of Manchester United. So it looks like he's going to survive. Having said that, if I was to summarise the stuff I've been told this week, there's an Albanian down injured here. If I was to summarise the stuff I've been told this week, I've not heard anything about Zidane. I cannot. I'd love to, but I cannot tell you anything about Zidane. I wish I could, but there is nothing to say about Zidane that I know. That doesn't mean that we haven't spoken to him, but maybe it was just we spoke to him and he doesn't want the job. You know, it might be that simple. I don't know. So I've got nothing on Zidane, nothing on Ten Hag at all, and I think he's going to have to come off here, the Albanian player. Large Albanian community in the UK as well, so there's a lot of them in Wembley, which is good to see. They made a right mistake here. Good header by Harry Maguire, just left him free. But what was I going to say? But in relation to Brendan Rodgers, and I tell you what, Harry Maguire would benefit from Brendan Rodgers. I'm sure he played under Brendan Rodgers, didn't he? So he would benefit from that. But look, Brendan Rodgers is the odds-on favourite with the bookies, who don't normally get it wrong. And there's a lot of noise around Brendan Rodgers. I'm hearing from a lot of different people. My belief is that United have spoken to Brendan Rodgers. Just from the 4 or 5 people I've spoken to this week that have said there is definitely something going on with Brendan Rodgers. So I believe that United have had discussions with it. I can't confirm it. I can't say it's definite. And certainly nobody of credibility in the journalistic world is saying that we've spoken to Brendan Rodgers. In fact, a lot of them are saying completely the opposite. But whether we've spoken to Brendan or Rodgers or not, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're about to appoint him. And it might just be, in the summer, would you be interested? Which is, it's a bit like, would you be? It's a bit like a woman that's married saying, "Would you be interested in marrying me if I got a divorce?" They might be a very attractive woman, but they're not divorced yet. So, I would err on the side of incompetence at United. It's always a good starting point, and that Ollie will continue. Kane 2-0, lovely play, Harry Kane. I don't know who puts the cross in. It's Jordan Henderson. Lovely play from Jordan Henderson. And it's a lovely... I mean, I would have buried this. It's just dinked across the 6-yard box. He's totally unmarked. And it's another goal for Harry Kane. But lovely play down the right-hand side. It's Reece James again, who's just been... I think he said it himself, he's in the form of his life. Lovely little 1-2 between Foden and Henderson. Lovely cross by... Oh, it's just a lovely goal, that. Reece James, to be honest, didn't have a massive part to play in it. It was Foden and Henderson who make it, and then Harry Kane. Look, I would have buried that. It's one of those chances that, look at it. Yeah. 2-0. Lovely goal by England, and that will be the game in the bed, I think. Running down the wing, hear United sing, Viva Ronaldo. There's nothing on Rangnick, Declan. In relation to Rangnick, I mean, that's a good one. I've heard nothing about Ten Hag. I've heard nothing about Zidane. I would love Zidane to be United's next manager, but I've heard nothing about it. I've heard loads about Brendan Rodgers. In relation to Rangnick, I think all I heard about that was similar to Conte. He would be interested in the job, but he doesn't expect to be contacted about the job. So Conte obviously wanted the United job, didn't get it. And I think Rangnick is probably the same. He'd be very interested in the job, but has not been offered it. I think England could get a few goals here tonight. I tell you what, it's been a good... Oh, Chilwell. You should have just put that in sooner. Why did he not put that in first time to Sterling? It would have been a tap-in and 3-0. Hendo with the assist says Salah. Yeah, he's had a good game. Joe says Dublin or England. Recently went to Dublin and stayed in Wicklow Mountains. Drove through Sandy Gap. I would love to retire there. I love Ireland. Love Island tonight on Love Island. No, I do love Ireland. And in fact, I'm going there next month. Actually, I'm going there next month, and I don't know whether we've got any Irish people, but apparently the pubs, it's table service, isn't it? But I'm going next month, so I imagine it. Dublin will be quite busy. So if it's table service, they won't let you in, will they? Unless they've got a spare table. But on the Sunday, I want to watch football. Where's a good place to watch football that I'm going to get a table at in Ireland? Does anybody know? Dublin it'll be. So, yeah. Emmett says the table... No, it's back to normal. No, it's table... No, Declan says it's table service. My mate lives in Ireland. It's table service only. You go in and you're only allowed in if they've got a spare table. Vincent says the living room. I'll write it down. I'm not going to Temple Bar. God, I'm not that much of an idiot. I lived in Ireland. I lived in Dublin for 3 years. I know that only tourists go to Temple Bar. And you know what? I lived in Dublin for 3 years. I went out at least 2-3 times a week, every week, and I can count the times on my hand I went to Temple Bar out. I used to go and do drama there, but I didn't go out there. The living room on O'Connell Street. Kieran says it's back to normal. I was told today it's table service only. Begsy, what pubs? I'll tell you what pubs I like in Ireland. Hairy Lemon, Sinnott's. They're up near St Stephen's Green. There's one at the bottom, at the other end of Stephen's Green. You come down Stephen's... if you walk down Grafton Street from St Stephen's Green, you go right to the very bottom, and Molly Malone statue's there. And before you cross the road to her, you go right, and there's a bar there on the right, and I can't remember what it was called. I used to go there quite a lot. There used to be a bar about 2 streets on from Grafton Street called Zanzibar years ago. I used to like that as well. But yeah, if you could bring one United legend back, who is it? Roy Keane, Lucas, definitely. And that soccer says it's back to normal now. If anyone owns any of these pubs and you want to give me a table or something, that'd be good. Everything reopened on October the 22nd. Yeah, I know it all reopened, Jack, but do you know what I'm talking about? The pubs are open, but it's table service, so you have to sit at a table. You cannot stand, loads of you in a bar and get served from the bar. That's what I'm saying. I know it's all opened up, but literally I spoke to 3 people who live in Ireland today and they said it's table service. It's not the Porterhouse, but may have been Judge Roy Beans. That's what it's called. That's what it was, Andrew Miller. Give yourself a clap. It was Judge Roy Beans. That's what it was. Have they changed the name then? Can you shout out my friend Benjamin, says Lucas Chinery. And there was another one on the Liffey. Is it Messer Maguire's? I don't know whether it was Messer Maguire's. On the Liffey. Near the O'Connell Bridge. On the south side. Is Rio Savante on Twitter legit? You follow him? I don't know, Fame. Don't know, we'll find out. Baker's Corner has massive screen on wall, loads of United fans. Baker's Corner, I'll write it down. It is Messers. Thank you very much, Michael. That's on like 3 or 4 floors, isn't it? 6-0 to England, says Salah. Running down the wing, hear United sing. Are you going to miss a United match to watch it? I don't know, mate. It's the weekend of the Norwich game, which I think is a 5:30 kickoff. So I probably won't miss the watch along, to be fair, but because it's Sunday. But just depends on flights. But no, I don't think I will. I'm not going anywhere in Temple Bar, Mike. Kane scored the second goal. Ellis. Half-time topic, says Himanshu. Yeah, let us know what you think about the half-time topic. Longstone. Oh, used to love the Longstone. It's not open. The Longstone's not there anymore, Eamon Kelly. I'm sure it got shut down. The Longstone used to be next to that cinema down the back of Tara Street, didn't it? I'm sure it got closed down because it got rejuvenated. I used to love the Longstone. There's a few pubs round there, actually. I think McTurkle's is round there. There used to be a club called the Fireside. There's a few bars around there. I mean, this is the thing I love about Ireland. Like, it's massive. Dublin's massive, and there's just so many pubs all over the place. Temple Bar is a tourist trap, Niall, definitely, yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Mark, come on, mate. Robson was better than Keane, mate. Dublin is brilliant. City, you're right there, says Andy and Bruno. Yeah, but Brian Robson was brilliant, but you know, if Brian Robson had been 10 years younger, he'd have played in that 90s Sir Alex Ferguson team in his prime. But the thing with Brian Robson for me is that I never really saw his best years, because when he was at his best in the sort of mid-80s, I was barely out of nappies. So I only saw the back end of Brian Robson, and I don't mean his arse. I mean, like, I didn't really see a lot of him playing, whereas Roy Keane, I saw all of his career. Here's Albania on the break. Of course, loads of England defenders back. Gets his shot off, though, straight at Pickford. Do you still think Southgate is worse than Ollie, even though he has United players playing better? Says that guy. I mean, I always felt Ollie was better than Southgate. I'll die on that sword. Paul Ince was a good player, Alex. Paul Ince was a very good player. And I'm not just saying that because I get on with him. He was a very good player. But I don't think he put himself in. I mean, Robson was his idol, so I don't think he'd say he was better than Robson. And he, I've spoken to Ince a few times, and he was a big fan of Roy Keane as well. So I don't think he'd put himself ahead of those two. England or Man United, Abdul? I mean, it's not even a question for me. It's Manchester United. I don't mind England when we're playing in the World Cup and the Euros. I get into that bubble, but I'm not massively interested in England. It is table services, Mark. You get table service in Ireland a lot anyway. The barmen and women in Ireland are brilliant. They always were. Lovely bit of play here. That is a cracking goal. What a goal by Henderson. He's having a brilliant game. Henderson, what a goal. That is fantastic. He sort of carves his way through. He gets the assist from... It's a lovely goal. Absolutely fantastic. He's playing so well. Gets it from Foden, attacks the penalty box, plays it into Kane, gets it back, round the player, bottom corner. He's got an assist and a goal. You know, sometimes you just got to appreciate quality. And he has been quality. 3-0. Hey, maybe if I slag Ollie off, United might play like this. Why does England always have an easy World Cup qualifying group? I don't know. We do tend to get easier groups. But then again, England always play well in the autumn. Like, if the World Cup was in the autumn, which it actually is, but it's a hot place, the English national team, if you look at the English national team over the last 25 years, I think our results between the 3 international breaks between September and Christmas are brilliant. Killian says, did you support any Irish team? Not really. I didn't really take any notice of it, to be honest. Akil, because, you know, you're not living on the moon. You're living in Ireland. Like, there's still Premier League and Champions League. You know, I was a United fan. Followed the Premier League. You know, didn't really have any reason to get into any of the Irish sports. Hi, Mark. I'm currently at work and I see a notification saying Maguire scored. If it's true, ask him why he leaves his head with Gareth Southgate, says Akil. And it's 4! Oh, no. Kane's missed. Brian Robson was United Stevie G. He carried United in years of inconsistency. Definitely, friends. I think you're right there. I've been slagging Ollie off for a while, Mark. It doesn't help, says Mark Dobby. Yeah, I see what you mean, yeah. I mean, look, I'm interested about Watford. I mean, I think United should, well, I'm not going to say will beat Watford. I think United should beat Watford comfortably. But I've not really watched Watford this season, and apparently they've got a bit of pace on the break, which is something United don't like. The way Henderson's game has improved, especially under Klopp, is seriously impressive. He's a top quality midfielder. Jonathan, I don't analyse Liverpool a lot. I wouldn't say I watch them loads. I mean, I see a fair bit of them because, like, we do watch-alongs. But I said it in the Euros. I would have played Henderson in the midfield too anyway. I'd like to. The thing I like about Henderson is that I think Rice and Phillips are quite defensive, whereas Henderson does give you that ability to get forward. I'd love to see Rice and Henderson as England's too. Mark, are you doing a watch-along for the Wales game tomorrow, says Joel Morris? I'd probably put it on because I'm doing an all-day stream. So I've got a TV for football there and I've got my gaming here, so I can do both. So I will have matches on tomorrow. That's a good point because I will have them on. And thank you very much for reminding me to say that. Here's Sterling into the box. Still going. He could have gone down. He could have dived. He didn't. Yeah, so tomorrow Wales are playing at 7:45, so we'll probably we'll put that on for sure. It's a shame there's no good games in the day, really. Great save by the keeper there. Although we can keep an eye on Solihull Moors at 3 o'clock because they're playing Notts County away from home. Big game in the National League. Notts County against Solihull Moors. That'll be a big one. 3 o'clock. And yeah, we'll put Wales on at 8 o'clock. No problem with that. I'll be getting a takeaway tomorrow night. Thanks for that one, Joel. We'll definitely do that. Mark, I'm sorry, but me and a lot of United fans will pray we lose versus Watford to force Ollie out, says Andrew C. They are a decent team under Ranieri. Gave Arsenal a game, says Andrew C. You know that's a flawed argument, though, Andrew. Because I'm going to get pizza tomorrow night, Martin. You can join me on the charity stream. All day tomorrow, I'm streaming on this channel, raising money for charity. I do it every international break on the Saturday in November. So this is I think it's my 3rd or 4th year doing it. And please do join me tomorrow and help me raise money for the charity, which is the Marie Curie charity, which is there for people who are suffering with terminal illness. Obviously, predominantly that is cancer. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. I'll be doing like FIFA Drafts. I'll be watching games, playing games as well. I've also got my Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game, so we can play that as well. So there's lots of stuff we can do. So make sure we'll be on this channel as well. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, so you get your notification. Mistake at the back by Albania here. Here's Sterling into Kane. Hit it. Oh, why don't you go with your left foot? He did. Oh. Is he offside? No. It's a lovely goal. Dani Alves is signing for Barcelona, says Satinder. And get Benjamin Foster on for the preview. Get him to play with McFred, says Flipperty. 4-0 to England. And Harry Kane looks sharp again. He's onside as well. The Conte effect. He does. He looks like Harry Kane of old. I mean, look, and I'm not even talking about his start to the season for Spurs. I think he was crap in the Euros as well. I think his headspace has been completely wrong, and I think it shows you that sport is in the head as much as it's in the feet. And Harry Kane against United a couple of weeks ago, awful, absolutely dreadful. But looking at him tonight, and I know Albania haven't been great, but he looks different. His movement looks different. His confidence looks different. His interest looks different, and he's got a couple of goals. He must be getting close to the record now. The Conte effect. I think he wonders too much personally, says Mace. Yeah, I do. But that discipline, Conte will not let Harry Kane start playing CDM. He won't. And I'd say keep your eye on Spurs over the next 3 games, because they've got 3 games that I think are an opportunity to pick up at 7 points, which would be good. Guys, we'll be back better. Been playing Football Manager. I know what to do. Don't worry, says Ollie. And it's been a good half. It's been a very good half. This will qualify England in top place as well. Who's bigger, Rangers or Villa? Says Martin Glynn. I mean, it's a great question, and I don't have an answer for who's a bigger club. I presume. I think Rangers have probably got more supporters than Villa. I don't know, but the point is, it doesn't matter who's the bigger club. In a managerial sense, the Villa job is a bigger job than Rangers, because that doesn't mean that Villa are a bigger club than Rangers. It's the fact that Villa are in the Premier League, and the Premier League is the biggest league in the world, and that's where you need to test yourself. Rangers and Celtic, if they could be in the Premier League, would be huge clubs. They would be, but they're not. They're in the Scottish League, and the Scottish League just doesn't. Thoughts on how far Conte will take Spurs, says David. And Mark, how do you feel about... Yeah, Towel. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Really, really terrible. As if I'm going to fall for that. Rangers, but a good move for Gerrard, says Ethan. Yeah, I would have thought Rangers is probably a bigger club. But it's the league, isn't it? It's like, would you rather have the PSG job, or would you rather have the Liverpool job? And Liverpool is a bigger club. Actually, that's a bad example. Would you rather have the PSG job, or would you rather have the Spurs job? And, PSG is a bigger club than Spurs, I would argue. But I'd rather have the Spurs job because of the league it's in. Towels getting banned. Some people are actually laughing at the Towels thing was rubbish. That's why I didn't read it out. It was such an obvious trap. But obviously there's some obvious people in the chat who find it funny. Viva Ronaldo. Do you think we will Sancho more in the future, or are you going to run 2 strikers up front? I don't know, Richie. I've got no idea. Do I think Wales will qualify? Well, I was just about to take a look at that qualifying group for Wales. They've got Belarus tomorrow. I will have it on in the background tomorrow because I've got 2 screens, like I say, so we can definitely have a... Yeah, Wales against Belarus. If they win... They've got to win, haven't they, tomorrow? It's a big game for Wales. They're in 3rd place with 11 points. Level on points with Czech Republic, who've played a game more. And obviously they won't be catching Belgium. But they could get a qualifier. What? I don't know why... Why do you think... Here we go then. Right. I've got Alex messaging me in the group chat. I've got people on Twitter telling me that Harry Maguire was... copying the Memphis thing. And... But I don't understand why he cupped his hands. I don't understand what it meant. Man United are absolutely milking it on their Twitter. Here's Sterling on the left-hand side. We've still got 5 minutes to go to half-time. Cleared away. This game is like Men v Preschool or Liverpool v United. Thanks, Andy and Bruno. Maguire is disgrace because United fans got your celebration. Not funny. Goldbridge, why do you treat your staff like crap? Says Mark Bosons. I don't know what you're talking about, Mark, but you've spent $4.50 exposing yourself because I presume you're talking about nonsense that's been levelled against the United stand for a very long time that we don't talk about because it's a load of nonsense. But thanks for the super chat. Hi Mark, how are you today? I have a feeling Ten Hag will go to City or Liverpool and will dominate the Prem. I had this feeling before with Klopp, says Paulo Ramirez. And yeah, I don't really understand about the well, I think I do understand when Harry Maguire scores a goal and goes like that and then goes like that. Is it aimed at the criticism he's had from Roy Keane? Is it aimed at the criticism he's had from the media? Is it aimed at everybody? Because you're the captain of Manchester United, mate. And Man United have got 4 points from 18. And you know what? You can clip this. I don't care if this goes out because I'm sure some United fans will go, well, he's our captain. You shouldn't be criticising him. Yeah, that's why I'm criticising him. He's Manchester United's captain and he doesn't seem to understand the standards of the football club. And if that is aimed at criticism, then he needs to read the room. Like, we've got 4 points from 18 and he's contributed directly to the Leicester result, certainly, the Liverpool result, certainly, and, you know, the leadership of the Man City game. So that's 9 points. He's on his shift. You know, scoring a header against Albania, that's great. It shows what he can do, and I think there's a good centre-back in there. But going like that or going like that, I don't know what it means, but if it is having a, you know, saying, you know, I'm not listening to criticism, well, that's a really bad message to send out as a Man United captain, that you're not listening to criticism. You know, I think you think about people like Brian Robson, Roy Keane, Paul Ince, Eric Cantona, Nemanja Vidic, Gary Neville, Ryan Giggs. If they were getting that level of criticism, I don't think they'd start going like that and like that. They'd prove a point. They'd realise, because their own standards are that of the fans, that it needs to be better. But yeah, maybe it meant something else. Maybe it did mean something else. But if it did mean something else, then, you know, read the room. But I don't know. Maybe it does mean something else, you know. But I think he's a good centre back. I said in the Euros that for me he was in the top 10 in the world, and I got laughed at. But I do think on his day he's a good centre back. I was very impressed with him. I do think his best form's for England though. I mean, the World Cup I was very impressed with him when we got to the semi-final. I was very impressed with him in the Euros. I think between Christmas and his injury at the end of last season, he was good. But maybe he's too emotional to the criticism. You know, Paul Pogba, what did he say the other day? I just ignore it. I'm my own biggest critic, so I don't need people to criticise me. Viva Ronaldo. That Bruno jumper is class. Yeah, if you want to get one, you can get it on United Stand Shopify. We do ship worldwide as well. And this is my favourite Christmas one, actually. There is a new one out, which is like Ronaldo ho ho ho. But this is my favourite one. Proper Christmas jumper. Love it. Oh, come let us adore him. Junior makes a good point. Maguire's not perfect, nowhere near as bad as people make out. He isn't captain material though. Yeah, look, he's not an £80 million centre back, and that's always the problem. Whether it's a United fan or it's rival fans, he will always be judged as an £80 million centre back, and he's not an £80 million centre back. You know, Ruben Diaz is an £80 million centre back. Van Dijk is an £80 million centre back. Varane would be an £80 million centre back, but Harry Maguire's not. He's a £50 million centre back, and I think if we'd got him for 50 million, then you know people would assess him a little bit more differently. Thank you very much. Please come to Carrion Island. It's class, says Jake. Thanks, pal. I've never been. I just realised what I've done as well. Ruben Diaz. I've not seen the thread on Twitter why Maguire is factually the worst defender in the Premier League. And all of Maguire's interviews seem robotic and emotionless. I don't see how he's captain and how he leads our big name players, says Scooby-Doo. Nice ball into Sterling. And it's just gone for a corner. Well, I read something about a week ago about Harry Maguire and the captaincy, and it upset a lot of people in the dressing room because they couldn't understand how a player that had been there 4 months got the captaincy. Hi Mark, I'm a United fan like you. I feel the pain. In my opinion, we need to lift the spirits, get the lads together and mass. Okay, MK, thank you very much. And I'll come to Kerry if you know what I mean, says Red Baron. Why can't we take... How did United go from having world-class players to Ashley Young and Harry Maguire, says Maid. Well, Sir Alex bought Ashley Young. Oh, what a goal by Harry Kane! What a goal by Harry Kane! It's a bloody great volley. I don't know why I'm speaking Scottish. What a hat-trick by Harry Kane. That is magnificent. What a hattie. That is superb. It's a cross to the back post. He gets up in the air and volleyed it. The Conte effect is in full effect here. Watch it. Here it comes. Back post, Foden. Boom. I mean, it deflects in off the... It actually deflects in off the defender, but it would have gone in anyway. Great goal. 5-0. Right at half-time. Lovely goal there. How many goals has he got for England now then? It's a bit of a bicycle, yeah. Bang. It's not totally clean. He hits it well, but it goes off the defender. So he's got a hat-trick there. He's got 45 goals for England. And it is half-time as well. Sorry, I'm just putting a tweet out. I'm just going to wind people up a bit. I hate it when I've got caps lock on. Viva Ronaldo. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Of course, you're all very welcome on this channel. Doesn't matter who you support, but you're all very, very welcome. Okay, so the half-time chat is going to be, is Gareth Southgate the best manager in the world based on that half of football? But no, seriously, a very good half from England. I expected Albania to give us a better game than that. They've They actually haven't had a bad tournament in the qualifications. They've been, I think they're in third or maybe fourth. I think they're in third. But they're one of the worst teams we've played. They've been absolutely terrible. Tarkowski is levels above Harry Maguire. He'd already have a hat-trick by now and wouldn't be a softie, says Sean Dykes. I should have done it in that voice. Perfect hat-trick, left foot, right foot header, says Thomas. Well, the second and third goals were good from Kane. The first one was easy, but it was with his head. But how many goals is Harry Kane off the record then now? Because it's interesting, isn't it? That England's goal-scoring record was Sir Bobby Charlton's for decades. And now Rooney's took it, and I don't think it's going to last a decade, is it? It's going to get taken by Harry Kane. But Andrew says Harry Kane has been a disgrace for downing tools on Spurs. Yeah, look, I don't know. Look, I'm not a Spurs fan, so I don't know what people feel about it. And I'm sure Nuno's looking on at it quite pissed off. But there is no doubt that Harry Kane this season has been nowhere near that Harry Kane. And I would imagine, Nuno had a terrible job. He did a terrible job. They never should have appointed him at Spurs anyway. But he came into the job probably expecting them to sell Kane and then buy his own replacements. He ended up stuck with Kane, who wasn't very happy, who he couldn't really drop. It was a bit of a, they never should have appointed Nuno anyway. It was a very difficult situation to manage. I think with Nuno sacked, Conte probably comes in before he takes the job and says to Kane, look, I'm more than happy for you to go, but I'm expecting to come in and win things. You're not going anywhere until the summer. This is how it's going to be, and I want you to work hard. And, suddenly Harry Kane looks like he's in a better position mentally. Because I tell you what, I've seen Kane play 3 or 4 times this season. Nothing like Harry Kane, and especially against United, he was an embarrassment. So he looks better. Mark, I've watched and supported United for almost 15 years. Not going to watch another game with Ollie in charge, says Druv. Hopefully can say the same for the Glazers. And half-time chat, who is the better player, prime Harry Kane versus prime Wayne Rooney? Harris, there is no comparison. Wayne Rooney for me was on the verge of being a player that we talk about as one of the best of the last 20 years in the world. I think he had to alter his game and become less selfish. When you could have built a team around Rooney, we built a team around Ronaldo, really. But Wayne Rooney was a fantastic player, and I would put Rooney ahead of Kane by a very, very long way. I think Harry Kane's one of the best strikers in the world, no doubt about it. But Wayne Rooney was just a generational talent, actually. Yeah. Liverpool Arsenal predictions. Look, I think next week's going to be very interesting in the Premier League, of course. I'm looking forward to watching that game. I think United are playing Watford at 3 o'clock, so I'll have to do the watch-along match reaction and then jump straight on here for Liverpool Arsenal because I'm looking forward to that one. Rooney just didn't stay at his peak for long enough, says Impale. Rooney was a much more well-rounded player, says Hydri. Aguero was better. It's sad. I've heard about Aguero. Apparently he might not play again, which is very, very sad if true. Harry Kane is good for England, but he is bad for Tottenham, says Luis. Well, he is at the moment, but he hasn't been bad for Tottenham. He's been bloody very, very good. Bloody very good, to be fair. But 5-0 to England at half-time here, and to be fair to Southgate and Maguire and Kane and 3 people who've had a lot of critics today, they've all delivered. It's been the evening of the comebacks, really, because they've been very, very good. I wonder if Roy Keane will say anything about Harry Kane, about Harry Maguire's celebration. Probably not. Prime Rooney was light years from later Rooney. Legendary at his peak, says Lynn Hall. And shame for Aguero if that's true, says Hydri. Karen says it could be something to do with the vaccine. Sterling has to score now, says Mate. And Southgate's better than Ollie. Kean Johnson says, I'm up for adoption if you're interested. I'm not laughing at you, really, if you are up for adoption. It was like a nervous laugh. Mark, I think you just hating on Ollie Howe because no one in the United fan base would take Nuno. He's worse than Ollie, says Marketing James. No, I don't want Nuno anywhere near Manchester United. Can I just say that? But as bad as I think Nuno is, he's way better than Ollie as a coach. 100%. He actually has, if you look at that Wolves team when it did well, he is a good coach. But he's just a defensive coach, which is like Ollie, who can't do that. I've got a pimple on my snooze. What do I do? This is Turbo Timmy. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner, by the way, to do that. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. And remember, tomorrow it is our all day charity stream. We'll be starting just before midday and going beyond midnight as we try to raise £20,000. Now, I've dropped the link in the chat already. If anybody tonight wants to start and get their donations in, it's for the Marie Curie Centre, which deals with people with terminal illness. Obviously, a lot of that will be cancer. Yeah, it's a really, really important cause. So please do get involved in it. And we'll be streaming on this channel. It won't be United Stand or Twitch. It's going to be on this channel tomorrow all day. We will be watching the Wales and internationals on the evening. Be doing a bit of FIFA as well. Got lots of things planned, so make sure you tune in as long as you can do tomorrow on this channel. So please subscribe, bottom right corner. Jonathan Williams says it's going to be bang tomorrow. Hopefully a lot of you will tune in as well. How do you rate Henderson in the first half, says Lee? I thought it was absolutely incredible, Lee. Absolutely fantastic. I think Henderson could have played, should have played in the Euros, and I would have played Rice and Henderson, because Henderson's more progressive than Rice and Phillips. And I mean, Rice and Phillips is obviously Southgate's go-to too, but I think Henderson is better than both of them. I think he's playing for Liverpool. He's a winner. He's a captain, and he's shown there what he can do. He can break from the midfield. He can create and score goals. So I think Henderson's played really well. And again, unfortunately, he's another Liverpool player that I begrudgingly respect, like Salah. Thoughts on tea without milk, says Exa. Never really tried it. Hendo is quality, says Omar. Don't you find Twitter too toxic, Mark, says Deep 11. And look, I gotta be honest, I know what Twitter's all about. I know there's some vile people out there, and they do reside on Twitter, but I also think, I've been on Twitter for 7 years, and in a footballing arena, I just think it's unmissable, really. I think the positives outweigh the negatives, even though the negatives are disgusting at times. Reece James is having I like Reece James damage. I've said that about Reece James for a long time, and I think he said it himself this week. He's in the form of his life. Should Henderson be England's captain? Who is England's captain? Because if it's Maguire, it should be Henderson. Reece James is a much more reliable option going into a tournament, says Lewis. Look, I think it's a really interesting debate point, and I'm sure everyone's going to have an opinion on this. If you think about Aaron Wan-Bissaka for Manchester United, he's not better than Reece James. Reece James, I think Wan-Bissaka defensively is very good, but Reece James is very good defensively. He can play in a back three as a right-sided centre-back, and he can play as a wing-back, and he can play in a back four as a right-back. So he's diverse, and he's a good defensive player as well, and he's strong and he's fast. Going forward, is he better than Trent Alexander-Arnold? Well, I'd say Trent Alexander-Arnold is arguably the best attacking right-back in the world. He probably is. But he's also a very bang average positional defensive right-back. So Reece James, to me, and he's better than Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker's faster than Reece James. That's about it. So I think Reece James at the moment is the perfect right-back. And it's interesting because is he finally getting the recognition he deserves, because he is the quintessential right back. Defensively, very adaptable. Going forward, very adaptable. That's your right back. Trent's are better going forward. You could argue that some of them might be better defensively. Kyle Walker's quicker, but Reece James has got the lot. He's got the defensive ability, he's got the strength, he's got the speed, and he's got the attacking ability. So Reece James is the fusion of everything you want. And I think Trent Alexander-Arnold's brilliant going forward, but Reece James should be England's right back for me. I don't get it. The Glazers are so business-minded people. They don't want to make more money after spending so much. They can make more money, says Druv. And watched Delo yesterday. Many good crosses by him. I don't know why Ollie won't use him as a right wing back when he plays a back five and choose to ruin Sancho instead, says Flaps. There we go. Chilwell has been steady first half, yeah. I think there was an opportunity for him to put a cross into the box earlier, but I'm probably being overcritical. But yeah, Reece James doing very, very well at the moment. At the moment, you'd probably have to pick Chilwell over Shaw on form. I think if both are in form, it's Luke Shaw. Should Henderson be England? I mean, it's a weird one, isn't it? United fan, I have to do this a lot. You know, praising a Chelsea player, praising a Liverpool player, a Spurs player. Harry Kane was superb. Look, watch Spurs. I genuinely think they're a sleeping something. They're not a sleeping giant, but they are definitely sleeping, and I think that Conte will wake them up. And I think you're going to see a big improvement with Spurs. And I think they've got 3 games coming up where I think they'll take 7 points, if not 9. That will put them right in the mix for the top 4 again. So keep your eye on Spurs. Conte's a top manager, and he's exactly what Spurs want. And I think Harry Kane will respond to it. He's just not going to mess about. Should Henderson be England's captain over Kane? He's proven winner. Kane has won nothing. I think it's just, striker favouritism, really. But no, somebody just said there, do you think Spurs will Spurs it up? Well, look, I think if Spurs got top 4, it would be a huge achievement. I think if West Ham got top 4, it would be miraculous. I think if Arsenal got top 4, it would be a huge achievement. Because I think when you look at the season in general, it's not that top 4 definitely should be Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea and Liverpool. They've got the stronger squads. But 4th place is up for grabs. And I think that, Spurs' expectation this season should be to, penetrate the top 6. Considering that Conte is coming in basically November as well. Dani Alves rejoining Barcelona. I mean, I think he's probably just doing it to help them out, isn't he? Champion of Champions snooker on Monday. Lovely stuff. Yes, get in. I think people might be, can I buy your bathwater? People actually do buy that, Not mine. I mean, look, let's just talk about that for a minute. It may as well be the half-time topic. Who's going to get top 4 this season? So Chelsea are top with 26. I mean, I've not looked at the Premier. This is hard for me as a United fan. Take a deep breath. Prepare. Okay, I've not looked at the Premier League title since BD, before the derby. So Chelsea are top with 26 points. Man City are second with 23 points. And you've got West Ham with 23 points, and then you've got Liverpool with 22. So that's the top 4 at the moment, separated by 4 points. Liverpool with 22, Chelsea with 26. Arsenal have got 20 points, and then you've got Man United with 17. So United are 5 points off top 4. Now, that can change quite quickly. Of course it can. Second half's about to kick off here. But Spurs are only a point behind United. So if United can get top 4, Spurs can get top 4. But I think people are sleeping on Spurs because they're like, well, it's Spurs. But, second half kicks off. So the next round of fixtures are going to be very interesting in relation to the Premier League because, well, I'd say the next 2 round of fixtures, actually, because United obviously are playing Watford. Chelsea have got Leicester away, which is a massive game next Saturday. That could be a potential for Chelsea to drop points because Leicester need a win. Liverpool are playing Arsenal. That's a massive game. And Spurs have got Leeds. Man City have got Everton. So that could change the landscape very quickly because if United were to beat Watford, that's 3 points. But if Chelsea don't beat Leicester and Liverpool don't beat Arsenal and Man City don't beat Everton, it closes everything up. So that's a very, very interesting one. And then the week after, though, you've got Chelsea hosting United, Man City hosting West Ham, and Liverpool at home to Southampton. I mean, I just think it's going to be a very interesting next couple of weeks in relation to the top 4. West Ham are away to Wolves as well. So I can see a lot of points being dropped, to be fair. I think the race for top 4 is very hard to read at the moment. Apparently, did Roy Keane call him? Apparently, Roy Keane. Well, I'm just going to put a tweet out. And then I'll tell you what it's about. Spot on. So Roy Keane says that's embarrassing. He's been a disgrace for Manchester United about Harry Maguire's celebration. You know, the hilarious thing about that is that when he did it, I'm live with you, good people. I saw him do it, and I said it was embarrassing. I said, you know, why are you doing that and that when the criticism you've had, of which I was one, I got into his Twitter and into his Instagram and said, you know, you're not acting like a Manchester United captain at all. And a lot of people agreed with that. I tweeted about it straight away and said something along the lines of, you know, you've just scored against Albania. I think, you know, ignoring your fans is a bit of a joke. I got a load of stick for it. But then Roy Keane, the most legendary Manchester United captain we've had in the Premier League era, who's done that job, has said that's embarrassing. So, you know, I'm glad that Roy Keane's done that, because it sits down these United fans who are going, oh, you're not a proper United fan having a go at your own captain. Swivel on it. He's been absolutely, like Roy Keane's just said, he's been an absolute disgrace in a United shirt, and he needs to show some leadership and humility. He scores a goal against Albania, and he's going like that and that. Like, it is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. And look, I want Maguire to do well, but, you know, even if he scores against Watford next week, you don't go like that and you don't go like that. You've got to do it against Watford, Chelsea, Palace, Arsenal, Villarreal. You've got to go and do it for the rest of the season, week in, week out. This is what Manchester United is all about. So, you know, I thought it was embarrassing. But, you know, look, I'm not looking for enemies, not looking to arguments. It's an opinion at the end of the day. And some of you might say, you know, it's not that deep. But I'm glad how Roy Keane said that, because it's exactly how I felt. I think it's like, I didn't understand why he was doing it. You know, you've scored a goal for England, you're a Manchester United's captain, and you're basically giving off the impression that you're not listening and sit down haters. Like, you've got to do it in a United shirt consistently. But like Indiprit says, it's just a celebration. Yeah, I know it's just a celebration, mate, and you might think it's not that deep, and that's absolutely fine. But, you know, as in anything in life, it's how it's perceived. You know, United fans are very, very pissed off at the moment, and, you know, why would you go like that, and why would you go like that? You know the room. Man United admin in the mud, milking that celebration on Twitter and Instagram, all for Roy Keane to call it embarrassing. You couldn't write it, says My Big Melons. Well, United's admin at the moment couldn't win a race with only them in it. I nearly said something else. Freddie says, yeah, it's only a celebration, but there is so much irony behind it. What's the JDEUK? What's the Twitter feed of that? Sorry, I don't want to shout it out loud because I don't want to send everybody there. Do you ever actually talk about the match on these watch-alongs? Yeah, we do normally, but it's England, isn't it? So I like to entertain myself by having a bit of a chat with you lot more. I don't really get massively into England. Oh, here's Harry Kane. Terrible shot, Kane. How many goals is he? Off. The Glazers permanently have that celebration going, says Mark Perellas. Yeah. Running down the wing, hear United sing, Viva Ronaldo. What a miss by Sterling here. No, it's not. That's not actually a great miss. Oh, thank you, Colton Lidaz. I think Chilwell's done well. Nice ball over the top. Goes back to Pickford. Viva Ronaldo. Running down their wing, hear United sing. Viva Ronaldo. Viva Ronaldo. It's got my head tonight. The full quote of what Harry Maguire says, I've just tweeted it off at Mark Goldbridge. There's a longer quote that I hadn't realised, so I've got to get back to the chat, so we'll leave it at that. And Mark, the shame about Ollie is that his loyalty to players that are clearly bang average is the thing that he will look back on with massive regret, says Matthew Everson. You know, I'd love to spend I'd love to spend. Look, I don't know about you, but I'm massively into. I don't think it's leadership. England have got a free kick here. These are the sort of conversations we'll be having on the charity stream tomorrow, because I love all this sort of stuff. But I don't know about you, but I'm massively into personalities and how people work, and I'd love to be, I think there's just certain people I'd love to know how their brain works and how they think. It sounds a bit weird, but it'd be nice to spend a day in their head. And I think it works the other way. Whilst you might want to spend a day in the head of somebody like, a Lionel Messi or a Cristiano Ronaldo or something like that, just to know how their brain works, to just keep motivated all the time. I think I'd also like to spend a day in the head of not Harry Maguire, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because I'd love to know what he's thinking about, like you say, team selections, why he keeps making those selections and ignores other people. Be interesting to see, is it just pure stubbornness? Is it pure inability? What is it? Don't need to spend a day in his head. A fly on the wall would be nice. Just listen. Would you take Southgate now for United job? No, God. One swan doesn't make a summer. Michael Jackson or Prince, as Leo. Never a big fan. I'd prefer Michael Jackson's music, but never really into either of them. Yeah, that was a slip of the tongue saying Harry Maguire's head. It wasn't. It should not lead to jokes about how many people you could fit inside the head. That's not very nice. I made a £5 bet that Kane wouldn't score, says Pasta. But at least you've only lost a fiver. At least you're not losing a fiver for everyone. Maguire's sister quoted his celebration with shush, but deleted it now, says CD1. Yeah, because you probably... Yeah, oh, come on, it's his sister. Come on. If it was your sister and you'd scored a goal for England, I'm sure they'd be very loyal to you. You can't knock family for being loyal to him. I probably deleted it for the abuse that they'll get for it, because... Yeah, if you read the room wrong on Twitter, you're going to get bantered and abuse, as Leyton Orient know to their benefit. Yeah, it's if Harry Maguire scores that goal for England, and it's after the Greece stuff, and he's shushing the media, everyone's like, yeah, go on, Harry. But the problem is, it's just about knowing the room. It's knowing the room. And that's why Roy Keane's acted like that, and that's why some United fans are pissed off. It's knowing the room. United fans are very pissed off at the moment. I think if Harry Maguire scores that goal, and he does that, and we've sacked Ollie and we've got a new manager, I don't think anyone really cares. I think they'd be like, look, it's a new start, well done, Harry, let's go. But it's knowing the room, isn't it? United fans are just not happy at the moment, and then they're really pissed off, and they're not going to react to that. But that's sort of what I think many people are talking about. He's Man United's captain and he can't read the room. If that's Marcus Rashford doing that, he's not the captain. United fans are not very happy, but they'd be like, whatever. I think it's because he's the cap. Well, I know what it is. He's the captain of the club. He's performing badly. He scores a goal for England in a rubbish game and starts going like that. And whatever he means by it, you go like that and you go like that. And shush, it's like shushing your critics, isn't it? But you're not even in a red shirt. You've got a lot of work to do to win back the support of... not win back. People will support you anyway. But, why are you shushing your critics anyway? Like, your critics are the people who will actually be praising you. You're United captain, Steak or a burger? I actually quite like a burger these days. I've gone off steak. I used to eat steak a lot. I don't really eat it much anymore. Why the Sterling hate? I don't hate Sterling. I just thought I tweeted that he dived. I don't hate Sterling. I don't actually hate anybody. Even people I've got reason to hate, I don't hate. I think hate's a bad thing. Look at the pace of Reece James there as well. I don't actually know if Reece James is quick. Who's quicker, Kyle Walker or Reece James? I've got to put a tweet out about Reece James. Running down the wing, here United thing. So the full quote from Roy Keane was, he thinks he's shutting the critics up, but I think it's embarrassing. He's been a disgrace the last couple of months for Manchester United. He thinks if he scores there, he's going to shut his critics up. Embarrassing. Oh. Well, I don't always agree with Roy Keane. I really don't. And I think, this is the thing you have to do in life, and this would be a life lesson if people want to take it, is never follow the Pied Piper. And what that means is, just because you really like somebody, don't listen to everything they say. Trust me, I've been on this planet long enough. I've respected people, and I've been managed by a lot of people. I've been friends with a lot of people, and it doesn't matter how great they are as a person or how much you respect them. They will make mistakes. They will get things wrong, and you should call it out. And look, Roy Keane, he talks what I would describe as nonsense sometimes, but he's a very passionate guy, and he's been there, and he's, sometimes he absolutely nails it, and he's definitely, for me, he's nailed it on that point. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. And remember, we are doing our charity stream. It's back tomorrow, all day tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm hoping we can raise 20,000 because we've never hit 20 grand before. I think we did 16.5 last year. If we can raise 20,000, it'd be fantastic. If you want to start contributing early, you can do it. I've dropped the link in the video description, and you know, you can do it anonymously if you want to. There's a cracking picture of me on the link as well to check out. But if you have been impacted by terminal illness, cancer, with friends or family or yourself, then you know, and you do contribute and you want to leave us a story, we'll definitely read it out, because it will be emotional because it is real tomorrow. But thanks everybody who's done it. We've just had another anonymous £5 done as well, so thank you everyone who's done that. We're actually currently on 710, so we're heading up to that first 1,000 before we've even started tomorrow, which would be fantastic. And we've got another goal here. It's Harry Kane. No, it's not. I don't know. I think they're just replaying his goals. Yeah. Sorry. It's coming off. It's coming off, basically. Fastest man alive, Barry Allen, says, Mark, please read about Ollie and his agent Solbakken. There's loads of shady stuff between them and explains a lot more about mates rates. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to comment on anything that could get me into trouble, but there's some fantastic articles about Ollie and Solbakken. There's stuff that's gone on at previous Norwegian clubs that got locked up in the legal system, and you're very much right. You know, I think there's certain players that we've nearly ended up buying for United that are linked to that sort of relationship as well. Bellingham's coming on as well for Phillips, which is great. Half an hour to go. Bellingham's on. Good move, Southgate. Southgate has got it spot on today. The Chelsea fullbacks are fantastic. They should both be starters from now on. I actually wouldn't disagree with you at the moment, mate. I mean, Luke Shaw's having a bad season. At his best, I'd still pick him over Chilwell, but Tammy Abraham's on for Kane as well. I'm wearing my Christmas jumper, RM, because I've been on the United stand before this, and we do sell Christmas jumpers, but if you want to get them and you live worldwide, you need to get your orders in early, so you've got them for December. So I was just wearing one. So, yeah. Chris said 9-0. I didn't even predict the scoreline, so I'll do it now with a bit of an advantage, and I'll say 7-0. Hi, says Riley. Hi, Riley. They're not booing Jude, they're saying Jude. If Zidane came in, do you think he would sell Maguire? Says Eros. Look, the Harry Maguire thing should never turn into an agenda against Harry Maguire. He's probably still going to be the captain, and hopefully he can still become a good player for Manchester United again. This is not a player that's going to get sold by United. That's not what we're talking about here at all. What we're talking about is a player that needs to improve and understand the room and understand what being Manchester United captain is all about. That's what Roy Keane's saying. Of course, Harry Maguire probably sees what people are saying about him and what Roy Keane says, and he's like, shh, I've scored a goal. That's not the battle you have as a Man United player. Your job is not to get into a personal vendetta with people who criticise you. Your job as a Manchester United manager is to understand, a player and manager, is to understand the standards of Manchester United, and that when they slip, you need to be your own biggest critic, so that anybody who's calling you a disgrace to the United shirt, you're doing it to yourself tenfold. That's what Roy Keane's getting at. That's what I'm getting at. That's what most of you are getting at. It's not about let's sell Harry Maguire. It's about Harry Maguire, understand what your job is and do it. You know, and I think every player at United gets a clean slate when we change the manager anyway. So that's where I feel. That's what I feel. That's what I feel like today. You know. Albania get a chance. Oh, clash of heads. Clash of heads, ref. Clash of heads. It's Stones and I think it might be Reece James. I think they're all right. Man down. 2 men down. Yeah, Cross came in. He went for an overhead kick, the Albanian, but Stones and Reece James. Ooh. I hate clash of heads. It is a bit nasty, but I think they're both all right. That's the dangerous thing about football, isn't it? When the ball's in. Grealish is on as well. When the ball's in. What? He's yellow carded, the Albanian. I suppose it's dangerous, high feet, isn't it? Accepting a 9-day break after Liverpool and City is awful. If Ollie is back for Watford, I'd say he's lazy on top of a bad manager and bad tactically, says William. Yeah, but apparently the club told him to take the break. So, you know, give him a bit of a break. Scotland and Ireland have secured their playoff position, says Riz. You could play Rocket League tomorrow, says Tom. Trouble is, I could do. I've got a bit of setting up to do tomorrow. I'll do the United Stand show in the morning, and then I've got to set up everything for the stream. So I've got my PS5 set up here. I've got my TV set up here. I just need to have everything to hand so that I can switch between PS4 and PS5 quickly, because there's no point. Is Among Us on PS5, and is it... Oh, this is looking quite bad for these two England players. Hold on a minute. Why do you think Grealish is popular with England fans, says Salah Ahmed? Because he's a good player. Hopefully these England lads are going to be okay, because Reece James has been fantastic. Wembley's looking lovely tonight, by the way. Under the lights. All the stars are coming out tonight. Stones is already up. Reece James having a sip of water. You may as well just take him off, really. Hannah says, what do you think about Dani Alves going back to Barcelona? I mean, look, he's such a good player. Probably could still do a good job. Not even trolling when I say Neil Warnock is a way better manager than Ollie. Well, he's a better manager, Jake. Definitely a better manager, but his style of football is repulsive. Running down the wing, hear United sing. Actually, I just want to check in a minute. Actually, that's a good point. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. You're very welcome. We're doing our charity stream tomorrow, of course, on this channel. So subscribe so you get your notification. We'll be kicking it off around midday. But, more importantly, we do lots of content on this channel. And you're all very welcome, because it's a general football channel. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We're on the road to 582,000. We're trying to hit 600k before Christmas. So please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Mark, what games are you playing tomorrow? Says Bong. So I'll be doing FIFA Drafts because they're always interactive. If you don't know what FIFA Draft is, I'll basically play FIFA, but you get 5 players for each position, and we just sort of debate which one we should pick to build a team. So we'll do that. I won't be doing any career mode or anything like that, because that's obviously, I don't want to mess my career mode up. I've got the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, I've got Among Us, I've got Fall Guys. I'm thinking about getting Red Dead Redemption because I'm quite into westerns at the moment. That would be quite funny as well. So yeah, there's loads of stuff we could do or download or whatever. I won't be doing Football Manager, I don't think. You should watch the darts for a bit tomorrow. Barney is back on Sky. TV's there. We can put it on. We can put it on there, Jake. Definitely. Is a goal. Oh, Reece James. If he hadn't banged his head, I think he'd have scored that. Lovely bit of play. Red Dead is goats. One game you wish you could relive. Probably, even though it's not that good now, and I haven't played it now, but of its time, Snake. Metal Gear Solid was great. Of its time. I don't even think it's that good now, but it was of its time. Could you play a scary game? I tell you why I'm interested in playing Red Dead Redemption, because I've just watched Godless on Netflix. I love westerns. I love westerns when they're done properly, though. I don't like, crap westerns, and I liked it, so it's good. Snake. Unforgiven is a good western. One of my favourite westerns is Tombstone with Kurt Russell in it. Wyatt Earp's quite good, yeah. Well, Wyatt Earp's in Tombstone. Top 5 Western movies, Mark, says Rubber Soul. Well, my favourite one is definitely Tombstone, number 1. I do like Young Guns, even though I watched it recently and it's a bit of a joke. I don't know about films. Like, there's a brilliant series I watched years ago called Lonesome Dove. It's got Robert Duvall in it and your man out of Men in Black, not Will Smith. Can't think of it. It's Tommy Lee Jones. That's very good. And like I said, I really enjoyed Godless as well. 610 to Yuma's good as well, yeah. Brokeback Mountain. It's not really a Western. There's other stuff going on in that. It's more about a couple of blokes who love each other and do stuff in a tent. Got to admit, got nothing against it, but it's not something I'd want to do. So that was yeah, it's a hard watch, and not in that way. God, not in that way. There was nothing going on down there for me, and if it was, there'd be nothing wrong with it. But it just doesn't do it for me. Anyway, Open Range is very underrated. Cowboys versus Aliens is actually sounds like a crap film, but it's actually not too bad. So who's tuning in tomorrow for the charity stream? We'll be live from midday on this channel, and we could be going. I think last year we went until about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning because I started playing a horror game, which I am willing to do. I'm willing to do a horror game later on. Tammy Abraham nearly scored. Grealish blocked. I'm willing to do a horror game. But remember, it's for charity, please. If you are going to watch the stream tomorrow, please contribute if you can. But please be part of the crew that sort of shares the stream and gets people in and stuff like that. Because, you know, really think that the community we've got is amazing. And I've got full faith that we can do it. The guy who donated £500 is a legend, says disconnecting. An absolute legend. Craig's the name. And donating's the game. In fact, we've had another debate. We've had a few coming in already, actually. Ed Bateman says, love the content, Mark. Great cause. Lost my aunt and granddad to cancer during a really difficult period of my life. Hopefully one day we'll have a way of stopping it. Keep up the good work. Well, that's the sort of things that if you have had experience of cancer and terminal illness and lost people, that if you do contribute and you want to leave as your story, I want to read it out, because obviously this will be on the stream tomorrow. Because it just makes it real about what we're doing, and I can tell you some of the stories that, you know, that I've had. I mean, I'm at a funeral next Wednesday for a family friend who died of cancer a few weeks ago. Again, gone too soon. Disconnecting says, I don't have much money, but I'd rather have not much money and help people with much less. Cancer's a horrible disease. Thank you to them. Anonymous has given us 5. Anonymous 20. P45 for Ollie has given us a 5. Jack Bridges 6. Tracy Taylor 20. Harvey 20. Anonymous as well. So thank you everyone who's given us those contributions. Really appreciate that. The link's in the chat if you want to. We're starting early, which is great. Drunk Bridge running down the wing, says Denge. You know what? I think I've told this story before, and tomorrow I'm sure there'll be loads of stories. It'll be like a long going for Goldbridge at times. Get well soon, David Brooks. Yes, Joel. Yes, definitely get well, David Brooks, soon. Obviously, again, that's that is cancer again, isn't it? I think sounds promising in relation to recovery, but fingers crossed. Another 2 subs here. Trent's coming on and Smith Rose coming on. But yeah, I've told this story before. It was summer pre-season, and I played for quite a good team. It was when it all went wrong for me, really, because I'd had trials. I'd just left school, so I was 16. Played for a good Sunday team. The school team was good, but I'd left school, and the Sunday team was moving to be a Saturday team, and the summer was just not drugs. What am I talking about? Drink and cigarettes and alcohol, basically. And I went out on a pre-season game. It was a sunny day in August pre-season, and we were playing in the town I lived. And I went down the pub, and everyone was drinking. not from the team. I was like, I'll just have a shandy. But then I was like, no, I'll have a pint. I ended up having about 5 pints. And then I went up to play football. And I was drunk. And I was playing centre-back. And no word of a lie, I went... The thing about it is when you're drunk is that you think you're Superman anyway. I think I'm Batman, right? And I'm playing centre-back and I think I'm Batman. And I can see the ball going wide. And I'm not even playing right back. And I run over to try and tackle him. Miss him. And I'm going at such speed, I think I'm about to time the best slide tackle in the world. But I don't slide, I just run, stumble forward and end up in a load of nettles. I was absolutely pissed out of my head. I got subbed. I haven't played Rocket League in ages, Super. So we've got 13 minutes to go here. Webb says, do you think Forest belong in the Premier League? Well, no, they don't. They're not good enough. I think it's sad that teams like Forest, Sheffield Wednesday are not in the Premier League because I think they're big clubs that always were in the top divisions when I was young. But, Brighton deserve to be in the Premier League. I don't think they're a very big club, but they deserve to be in the Premier League. The football they play, the manager they've got. I think so much about football, unless you're one of the traditional clubs that's never going to get relegated, like your Arsenals, your Chelseas, your Spurs, Uniteds, your Cities, your Liverpools, your Evertons. There's certain clubs that no matter how bad they are, they're not going to get relegated. But I think so much about football at any level is about how well your club is run. Because if you've got a well-run club, you'll have a good manager. And if you've got a well-run club with a good manager, you're going to have good players. And I think the problem that Sheffield Wednesday and Forest have definitely had over the last sort of 20 years is that they've not been run well. So they've employed the wrong managers and they've had a high turnover of players, and therefore they don't deserve to be in the top division. But you look at a Brighton or a Burnley or a Bournemouth over the years, they're not big clubs, but they've been run well and they've got good managers who've brought good players in. And that's what it's all about. There are, Sheffield Wednesday, when I was sort of, at secondary school, they had a brilliant team at one point. They had Chris Waddle, Paul Warhurst, John Sheridan, Carlton Palmer, Des Walker, Chris Woods. They had so many good players. They got to the FA Cup final and the Carabao Cup final when they were more prestigious, and they lost both to Arsenal in really tight games. But where are they now? Sheffield Wednesday is a club that I never thought would be where it is now and where it has been for a very long time. In fact, Sheffield Wednesday have probably become like a club that, people used to say to me about Preston and stuff like that. Oh, they used to be massive, and you go, what? Sheffield Wednesday used to be quite a big club. But if you've got bad owners, you'll disappear. That's what happens. You'll disappear. I mean, United have got bad owners. We're not going to disappear, but we're not going to win anything. And I think that is the lesson in football, isn't it? If you've not got good owners, you're not going to be where you need to be. And whether that's Premier League, winning the Premier League, whatever. And that's why teams like Brighton do well, and teams like Chelsea do well, and Man City, because whatever you think about them, they're well-run clubs. David Lloyd says, I went Hillsborough 12,000, United there, we lost 4-2. I'd like to do Formula 1 watch-alongs again, Toby. I mean, yeah, Liam Talks Motorsport makes a good point. That you've just mentioned a couple of Premier League clubs that have fallen by the wayside. What about foreign clubs that used to be big? And he mentions Hamburg. Hamburg were a big club at one point. I'm trying to think. I mean, Aberdeen. It's very hard in the Scottish League to break the Celtic Rangers axes, but Aberdeen, even after Sir Alex Ferguson had gone, Aberdeen was still a side that, they didn't used to win it, but they were decent. Parma is another one. Blackburn aren't foreign, Chris. I mean, they're a bit funny from Blackburn, but they're not foreign. Thoughts on Kretinsky's West Ham 27% stake? That's LFCJ. West Ham are going to be another Newcastle, and they're going to be another Chelsea, and they're going to be another Everton, and they're going to be another Villa. That is going to lead to West Ham having a lot of money. Yeah. Sampdoria's another one. Yeah, Sampdoria. Oh, God. Mancini, Vialli, Lombardo. I used to love Sampdoria. I've got a top upstairs. Sampdoria were probably my first Italian club. I became Juventus, but Sampdoria was the one I really liked first. I mean, I always say Juventus is my Italian team, and it is. Mainly because black and white, Notts County. Notts County is Nottingham, and it's the oldest club in the world, and Juventus wear black and white because of Notts County. So I always liked that, connection. But Sampdoria was obviously was definitely the team I liked first, because I loved Vialli and I loved Mancini. I think Mancini was my favourite player outside of the UK. I loved Mancini. Whenever he used to play for Italy and stuff, I loved Mancini, because I've got loose connections to Italy anyway. Didn't love it when he went to Man City. What charity am I raising for? So the charity I'm raising for is Marie Curie, who offer care, guidance and support to people living with terminal illness. So I suppose the word's unfortunate, but actually it's fortunate it's unfortunate that 3 people I've known have died, but fortunate that charity exists, because it's not just the care it provides for people who are dying, it's also the bereavement support it provides for people who are left behind. And for example, this is what they do, but Dawn, who I'm going to her funeral next week, she found out she had cancer probably sort of 8 months ago, and she was in and out of the Marie Curie Centre. When it got bad, she'd go in, they'd look after her, and then when it got more manageable, she'd go back home. And then, because the way it can work with cancer is that you go through stages, like obviously some people have radiotherapy and chemo and things like that, but sometimes the pain's really bad, and you can go in there, they'll give you a bed and a room, and they'll manage your pain, and they're specialists and things like that. And obviously end of life, a lot of people end up in there, which is far better than being in hospital and stuff like that. So Mick Jones says, Mick Jones has just donated £100. What a legend. Can we have a clap for Mick Jones? The link's in the chat if you want to donate before we start tomorrow. He says, various members of my family and friends have succumbed to cancer. Some of them were way too young. Very sad, but thanks to United Stand and Newmarket, I can do something useful. Bravo. So Mick, you're an absolute legend. Thank you for that. James Lord says, let's go Goldbridge Road to 20k. W. Neen has given us a £5. Praying for everyone, says Crocodile. Anonymous has given us £10 as well. And thank you everyone who has contributed. Bloody hell, we're only 65 quid off £1,000. We've not even started yet. So that 20,000 tomorrow, I think it's possible. I'm tell you what, I'm buzzing to start tomorrow. It's an emotional day and it's a hard day, but it's a zone we lock into. Anyone who's watched one before, you sort of lock into this zone from the start until the end. And I would say, look, tune in tomorrow. Some people try and do it the whole lot with me. Some people just drop in every now and again. But it is a weird thing, a positive weird thing, that you just sort of get into this zone in the day, and it's like, let's go. So look, I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to it, although I am in a way, because I think we're going to do a good thing tomorrow, and to have £1,000 head start is great. So thanks everyone who's contributed so far, and some lovely little notes in there as well, because it does impact on everybody. Of course it does. 5 minutes to go in this game. There's been a lot of subs. I think my 7-0 is going to be wrong, isn't it? Jake's 18 on Monday. I ought to be 18 again. I'd actually, you know what? If somebody said to me, you can be 18 again tomorrow, I'd say no. It's like, what a nice way to live. What a nice way to... I've just realised as well, on my next going for Goldbridge, I've got to do an apology to old people. Yeah, I watched it back. Goldbridge makes a cup of tea, and I read one of the comments, and they're old and they watch my content and they weren't very happy, and I thought, they obviously don't get that most of it's tongue-in-cheek with me, but I feel that, yeah. Lee says, I'm a Leicester fan. I hope we don't lose Rodgers. I don't think you are going to lose Rodgers, because if there's one club you want your manager, it's Man United, because we'll mess it up. Is Jorginho the best penalty taker? The thing I like about Jorginho and Bruno is that when they do their penalty style properly, I know you're always going to miss it. People are always going to miss a penalty, but I think the way they take their penalties, they make me more confident than anybody else. You know, Ronaldo, Messi are brilliant at penalties, but it's the technique of Jorginho that, you know, and Pickford saved it in the final. Of course it is. Anyone can miss a penalty, but it's just the technique. AC Milan, Barca, and Man United to an extent. Valencia, says Lucas. Yeah, they're on the decline. I like smoked bacon. Mark, yeah. Jorginho missed. I've just jinxed him without even watching the match. Out of context, Bridge. Bruno's miss against Villa wasn't you know, the thing about Bruno's miss against Villa is that wasn't a proper Bruno penalty as well. He didn't take it like he normally does. He skied it. When they walk up and do the little stutter jump, that's how you do it. Running down the wing, hear United sing, Viva Ronaldo. Well, it's interesting because Italy are drawing with Switzerland, and they're both level on points at the top. So it's a cracking result for Italy, and it's a cracking result for Switzerland if they can hold out for that draw. Although Switzerland aren't a bad side, are they? Northern Ireland beating Lithuania 1-0. Denmark beating the Faroe Islands 2-1. Austria beating Israel 4-2. Poland beating Andorra 4-1, and Hungary have beaten San Marino 4-0. Poland looking like they're going to get the second spot. Albania and Hungary going to miss out. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. If you know, Cedric says the hop makes it difficult. I was doing it in the summer. I was taking penalties with the hop, and it is difficult. It gives you that little. If you time it well, it gives you that. The hop is about the goalkeeper, really. It's about making the goalkeeper commit, and even if they don't commit, you're hard to read, because you don't. The thing about the hop is you don't make your mind up until you hit the ground, so it's hard for the keeper to read. The hop makes it hard, almost impossible for the keeper to read what you're going to do. They've got to guess, which a lot of them do anyway. But it can also give you time to see what the keeper's going to do. Can you do a walk in the snow during Christmas? I'd love to, but it has to snow. If it snows, I'll run out with my GoPro. Second half got me tired. Yeah, it's not been a great second half, but we're nearly through it. 2 minutes added on. No goals. Yeah, so tomorrow's charity stream. I know I'll do some FIFA drafts. We'll definitely have whatever's on the telly on. Keep an eye on stuff. And we'll also have the gaming system, and we'll also have the live chat. So we'll mix it up, and we'll play it by ear, basically. But looking forward to it, and you know, I'm all for ideas once we're live as well. So we'll be live on this channel tomorrow with an all-day stream. I don't know how many people we normally get watching it. You know, I can't remember what the average was last year. I should write it down, really. But get involved tomorrow. We will do a horror game later in the night. What I'll do tomorrow is, when we hit a certain target, I'll say we'll play a horror game. Which is fair enough, isn't it? That's fair enough. Bloody hell, wow. All I can say is wow. We've hit 1,200 already, and we've not even bloody started. This is fantastic. Fantastic. Nemanja Magic has given us a £5. He says, I really appreciate your work for this amazing charity. Remember the links in the chat if you want to contribute before. Looking forward to tomorrow's stream. Will you be playing F1? I might do, mate. I've got it on PS4. So, Andy McBee says, caught this through lockdown first time and was a wonderful thing. Love your content. Don't always agree with everything, but that's the opinions, pal. That's what it's meant to be like. All the best tomorrow and look forward to watching. LFCJ says, cancer's a bastard. It ruins lives and needs to be stopped. Good to see you gathering funds together. Sri says, keep up the great work, Mark, and fuck cancer. Thank you very much. David Lloyd, thank you. Calvin G says, great work. Thank you. Jacob Stoddard, thank you. Ab says, mum had breast cancer 3 years back. Luckily fully recovered now, but I know too many people aren't as fortunate. That's fantastic news that she recovered, Abs. JT69 United says, hi Mark, lost my dad to cancer in 2010. Sorry about that, mate. And he says, from the first time we knew he had cancer, it only took 6 months until he died. It still hurts. So this is nice what you're doing. Much love from Sweden. Thank you very much for the contribution there as well. Really appreciate everyone who's contributed. We've not even started yet, and we're fast approaching 1,200. In fact, we've had another 100 come in from Laura Bradburn, who says, thanks so much for this, Mark. I've lost family, friends and colleagues to this horrible illness and spent a few years working in cancer care myself. Everything we can do to beat this. Well, you're a legend to me, Laura, for not only for the £100 but for the work that you've done in relation to that as well, and an anonymous £50 as well. We're up and running. And I appreciate everyone who started, because we've not even started and we've already gone past 1,000. I think we can get 20k tomorrow, and if we hit 20k tomorrow, I'll probably cry on stream again, because I think you're absolutely fantastic, and I know what this community can do, and this is why I'm very passionate about what you do, because we've built a community on the United Stand, and we've built a new community here, and we've got one on Twitch, and some of you are all part of all of it, some of you are part of different ones, and it makes me laugh. That's why I did the Goldbridge makes a cup of tea thing, because it makes me laugh when people say, oh, you're just negative, you're just making money off the football club. I'm like, you don't watch our content. It's not like, we've just watched England play Albania and we barely watched the match. We've just been chatting and having a good time, and that's what it's all about. And people know that we're going to disagree with each other, but it's done in a community way. So big shout out to you all. I will be live on the United Stand tomorrow at 10 o'clock, but here for the charity stream I'll be live before midday, but midday all the way through till we get 20k. And if we go past 20k, I'll keep going. That's what you do. You keep going. And we will be playing FIFA Draft. We will be doing a horror game at some point. Might even load up Red Dead Redemption 2 for a bit of a laugh, because I feel like being a bit of a cowboy. And maybe a bit of Fall Guys as well. That's always a bit of fun. And we'll have the Sneak Energy on the go. Going to get some takeaway in as well. We'll just have a good time, raising money for something that's important. I always enjoy the stream. Let's see how it goes tomorrow. Let's see what we can do. Thanks everyone for watching. Well done to England. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Tomorrow's a big day. Oh, England Rugby's on as well. We'll have that on as well. I'm going to check the TV listing.